News Midday with Diana Davis and meteorologist Aaron Castleberry.
You're looking at the latest literary work by Gage Fears, a native of Region 8, who has documented the history of Eaker Air Force Base in this book, Abandoned Arkansas, Eaker Air Force Base. And Eaker, of course, was once home to 3,000 service members and a fleet of B-52s and KC-135s. And joining us now here in the studio is Gage Fears, all the way from Searcy. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure being here, Miss Diana. I grew up watching you and Ryan and everyone else around here. So,
well, thank you. Well, it's for me an honor because, first of all, I want to bring the attention to the fact you look very young.
Yes.
Probably were not alive before the base closed.
Yes.
So, what brought you to write this book?
Well, if you look inside one of the first pages, the book is dedicated to a Staff Sergeant Walter BJ. It is my grandfather, and I started writing the book 1 year after he passed. Originally, we started taking photos of this. It was me and 2 other photographers within the AbandonedAtlas Foundation. We went up to Blytheville and we gathered over 1,000 photos between the 3 of us. And then I started writing an article for their website and decided to put it into a book because everybody was telling me, so good, you ought to put it into a book, so here it is.
And the photos that you have taken, as well as the ones that you've uncovered as the people from the Cold War Museum,
Yes, ma'am,
have been there, and they helped you with some of these. This is a fascinating documentation. How long did it take you?
About a year and a half. I finished it around August of 2022.
Wow. And those photos we see right now, there's the control tower, and that alone had a history behind it. It was even painted a different color.
Many times, actually, yes.
Really?
The top of that building actually is mainly used for storage now. It's just no ventilation up there, and the stairs are really steep up there, so they don't really go up there anymore.
Wow.
And there's no need to anymore as well.
Lots of the base has fallen into disrepair,
Yes,
and that's why they want to revive it and have this museum have its presence. But people today don't understand that this air base played a pivotal role in the history of our military, and you found that.
Yes, ma'am. So it's always been rumored that Blytheville was on one of the top 5 bases of Russia's hit list during the Cold War.
Wow.
And Blytheville was at first in World War II the only twin engine training camp in Arkansas. The second largest would have been Walnut Ridge, which became the salvage yard after World War II. And after World War II, Blytheville kind of went into a limbo, then became a TAC base, and they had B-57s, and then became our B-52 base. Little Rock at the time, while Blytheville was a TAC base, did have bombers themselves, but then they switched their mission over to the C-130, and Blytheville switched over to, well, didn't really switch over, but began the B-52 and the KC-135.
And before we go, how can we get our hands on this book? Because it is so well put together by an Arkansan.
So you can find this on the AbandonedAtlas website. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I do occasionally pick up some copies from my publisher, Arcadia Publishing. Pretty much anywhere you can find a book, it's there.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Diana.
Gage Fears, I hope it's just the beginning of your career writing.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's just fascinating, isn't it?